What's up, WrestleScope family? Before we dive into today's absolute chaos, smash that like button right now because what I'm about to show you has WWE scrambling to do damage control. And trust me, you're going to want to see this all the way through to the end because the footage they tried to bury, we've got it. So, let me ask you something. How does the Beast incarnate, the man who conquered the Undertaker streak, the Paul Heyman guy himself, Brock Lesnar, a former UFC heavyweight champion, how does he take a tumble during a simple entrance on Monday Night Raw? And here's the thing that's got me fired up. WWE is pretending this never happened. They edited it out of replays, social media went into lockdown mode, and every wrestling news outlet got the "don't talk about it" memo. But we don't play that game here on WrestleScope. The question isn't just what happened. It's why is WWE so desperate to make sure you never saw it? What are they hiding? And more importantly, does this expose something way bigger about how WWE protects their top stars? Drop a comment right now and tell me, should WWE own up to botches, or is protecting their mystique more important? Because after you see what I'm about to break down, you're going to have some strong opinions. All right, let's set the stage. Monday Night Raw. The crowd is electric. We're in the middle of a huge storyline. Brock Lesnar is set to confront his WrestleMania opponent, and Paul Heyman has been running his mouth for weeks about how Brock is going to suplex the entire roster into oblivion. The pyro hits. That iconic music explodes through the arena. The crowd is going insane. This is the moment everyone has been waiting for. Brock Lesnar, the most legitimate athlete WWE has on their roster, is about to make his entrance. Now, if you've watched Brock's entrances over the years, you know they're calculated. They're intense. He doesn't smile. He doesn't wave. He stalks to that ring like a predator hunting prey. Every movement is deliberate. Every step is about dominance. But on this night, something went horribly wrong. As Brock makes his way down the ramp, and this is where it gets interesting, there's a slight elevation change near the ringside area. Nothing major, maybe a few inches, the kind of thing production sets up 1,000 times without incident. Brock approaches it and he stumbles. Not a little trip. We're talking a full momentum-breaking stumble where the Beast incarnate nearly goes down to one knee. His hand hits the floor. For a split second, you can see the shock on his face, that "what just happened" expression that breaks the entire character. And the cameraman immediately cuts away, like someone flipped a switch. Suddenly, we're looking at the announce table, then Paul Heyman's shocked face, then a wide shot of the crowd, anywhere but Brock Lesnar regaining his composure. Now, here's where this story goes from awkward botch to WWE conspiracy mode. And yes, I'm using that word deliberately because the lengths they went to are wild. Within minutes, and I mean minutes of this happening, WWE social media team went into full damage control. The official Raw Twitter account that usually clips every major moment, silent about Brock's entrance. YouTube highlights, edited. The entrance was either completely cut or showed angles that conveniently missed the stumble. Fans who posted the footage on Twitter found their posts mysteriously getting copyright strikes faster than you can say Suplex City. Reddit threads were being taken down. Even wrestling news sites that initially reported on it suddenly pulled their articles or added corrections saying the reports were exaggerated. This is the same company that has embraced botches in the past. Remember when Nia Jax broke Becky Lynch's face and they turned it into a storyline? Remember when Shane McMahon's punches became a meme and they leaned into it? WWE knows how to work with mistakes, but with Brock, total radio silence, complete erasure. It's like it never happened. And that raises the real question. Why is Brock Lesnar untouchable? Why does he get protection that other superstars don't? Is it because of his contract, his special part-time status, or is WWE terrified that showing any vulnerability, even a simple trip, might shatter the carefully constructed aura they've built around him for a decade? Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the massive double standard in how WWE treats their superstars. When Enzo Amore botched that entrance dive, replayed over and over. When Titus O'Neil tripped at the Greatest Royal Rumble and slid under the ring, it became one of the most viral WWE moments of that year. WWE put it in compilation videos. They made t-shirts. They turned embarrassment into merchandise. But with Brock, trips slightly, and suddenly WWE is operating like the CIA? Here's my theory, and tell me in the comments if you agree or think I'm crazy. WWE's entire financial model for Brock Lesnar depends on him being legitimately unstoppable. They don't just promote him as a character who wins, they promote him as someone who could actually beat anyone in a real fight. Every promo reminds you, UFC heavyweight champion, NCAA wrestling champion, the man who ended the streak. He's not just a wrestler, he's a real fighter who happens to be in WWE. That mystique is worth millions. It's why Fox pays premium money when Brock appears on SmackDown. It's why Saudi Arabia specifically requests him for their shows. It's why his WrestleMania matches command the biggest paydays. But here's the thing. Mystique is fragile. One moment of looking human, one stumble, one awkward fall, and suddenly people remember, oh yeah, this is choreographed entertainment. And WWE can't afford that with Brock. Meanwhile, somebody like Ricochet could have a botch and WWE will show 20 replays from different angles because his value isn't in mystique. It's in his ability to recover and keep performing. The double standard isn't just unfair. It reveals exactly how WWE values their performers. Some are brands that must be protected at all costs. Others are workers who are expected to make any mistake into entertainment. So let's talk about what actually caused this stumble, because the truth is somehow both simpler and more revealing than you'd think. According to sources backstage, and yes, we have sources even when WWE tries to lock things down, the issue was a last-minute stage modification. Production decided to add an extra platform element to make Brock's entrance more dramatic. The problem? The lighting in that section was off by literally a few degrees, creating a shadow that made the elevation change nearly invisible. Brock, walking down with his usual intensity, didn't see it. His foot caught the edge, his weight shifted forward, and down he went. Now, here's what's important. This wasn't Brock's fault. This wasn't a sign that he's getting older or losing his edge. This was a production error, plain and simple. Any athlete, and Brock is an athlete, can trip over an obstacle they can't see. It happens to NFL players on badly maintained fields. It happens to UFC fighters entering the octagon. It's not a big deal. But WWE made it a big deal by hiding it. They turned a simple, oops, lighting was bad, into a conspiracy that wrestling fans are buzzing about weeks later. The cover-up became bigger than the crime. And honestly, that's what bothers me most. WWE had an opportunity to be transparent, maybe even make a lighthearted acknowledgement, and instead they chose paranoia and censorship. They chose to insult our intelligence. Here's why this matters beyond just one awkward moment on Raw. This incident exposes how WWE operates in the modern era. They want to control every narrative. They want to curate every moment. They've become so obsessed with protecting their brand and their top stars that they've forgotten what made wrestling compelling in the first place: the unpredictability. The best wrestling moments are often unscripted. Stone Cold Stunning Vince McMahon wasn't planned long-term. CM Punk's pipe bomb went off-script. Daniel Bryan's WrestleMania 30 moment happened because fans rejected WWE's carefully controlled narrative. Wrestling is at its best when it feels real, when anything can happen, when we're not sure what's a work and what's a shoot. But when WWE immediately scrubs anything that doesn't fit their perfect narrative, we're reminded that we're watching a heavily produced TV show, not a legitimate competition. And for a company that's trying to compete with AEW, with NJPW, with the indies that fans love for their authenticity, that's a massive problem. Brock tripping should have been a funny moment that humanizes him slightly while taking nothing away from his dominance. Instead, WWE's overreaction made it a controversy that undermines trust between the company and their audience. Look, at the end of the day, Brock Lesnar is still a beast. One stumble doesn't change his legacy, his accomplishments, or his place in WWE history. The man is a legitimate athlete and one of the biggest draws in wrestling history. But WWE needs to make a choice. Do they want to be a transparent company that respects their audience's intelligence, or do they want to keep playing these games, editing reality, and hoping we don't notice? Because here's the truth. We always notice. And in the age of social media, screen recordings, and wrestling fans who analyze every frame like it's the Zapruder film, nothing stays hidden long. This wasn't just about a botched entrance. This was about respect, respect for the audience, respect for the truth, and respect for the business that we all love. So here's what I want from you, the WrestleScope family. Smash that like button if you think WWE needs to be more transparent. Drop a comment telling me whether you think protecting Star Mystique is worth sacrificing authenticity. And subscribe if you want a channel that's going to keep bringing you the stories WWE doesn't want you to see. We're building something special here, a community that doesn't accept the sanitized version of wrestling, but digs deeper to find the real stories. I'm your host, and this is WrestleScope, where we don't just watch wrestling, we expose it. I'll see you in the next one. Stay skeptical, stay passionate, and keep wrestling real.